Hey, Tina Hall here. It is Wednesday night, and welcome to another Flexcast. We call this Flex Adapt with Intent. We are contemplating performing arts and visual arts during uncertain times. Tonight, I have two guests with me from right here in the Lehigh Valley, and I think this is going to be some fun. Aaron Alkosov and Janear Hankerson, stand up and improv comedy, and they're going to talk about what they've been up to since we have been stuck inside a pandemic, and how comedy, how they're adapting with the comedy, and how they've been able to take it to the live stream. What's working? What's not? How do we make people laugh? Maybe we'll make people laugh tonight. So your comments are very much appreciated, and at any point in time, just like ask questions. We're gonna get to that point of hopefully having a little dialogue back and forth, or just comment, and we'll read your comments out loud as well. So we'll get ourselves together here, and my guests are right there: Aaron Alkosov, Janear Hankerson, and let's see, we'll get both your names coming up there. I take that out, and there's your names. Very good. Hey, hi.
Hi.
Hey,
So
Dina.
so good to be here with you all. Um, you know, I don't know that any of us. I mean, you know each other. We kind of know each other. Janeer, we've never met.
No, we haven't.
I'm thrilled for this. This is really cool. I don't get out to see comedy too much. I don't even get out to see much music, just because you're working, I'm working, we're all working. Um, so I'm glad you were able to be here with us. How do you two know each other? How did you meet? Who wants to go first?
We met serendipitously at an accounting conference because we're both accountants. No, that's the first joke. We are accountants, but we met doing comedy.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we met at an open mic, and I saw Aaron do his set, and he was talking about accounting, and I was like in my seat, like, yeah, right. This guy's an accountant too. That's crazy. Um, and then I did my set where I talked about my adventures of making hummus, and then Aaron said, I don't know if you remember what you said, Aaron.
I think because we share that in common too. I've made hummus too by
Oh,
scratch. Yeah.
from
Yeah,
scratch.
and I was like, whoa, don't threaten me with a good time.
Aaron, I'm going to ask you just to take your mic down just a little bit, just because it's loud in my ears, and I don't know if it is anywhere else.
Okay.
But I think we're all equal now. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's good. So, all right. So I was starting to understand that the open mic was at the accountants convention, or it
That
should be.
it should be.
Um, I think you're breaking all stereotypes here. You know, our accountants are not supposed to be funny, although mine laughs all the time. He laughs at everything he says. He
Yeah,
Yeah.
said
everything he says. That
everything
sounds
he
about
says
right.
he
Yeah,
laughs at.
sounds about right.
Yes, he. Yeah, I ask. We ask him. What's it look like? What is there? What are we gonna have to pay? And he just busts out laughing, and then he tells us what
That's
what our yeah, because we always pay. Oh my gosh. I'm
that's
sorry. I'm just like I just I've heard of like people who are scientists and chemists that are also musicians and engineers. It blows my mind when I think of that conflict of left brain, right brain, and I'm fascinated by it all. All right, so each of you, which came first, comedy or accounting?
That's a good question. The
Yeah,
classic egg or the chicken. Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. What made you want to make a fool of yourself in front of people? Was it the accounting, or was it the
Nope.
or did the accounting make you want to? Yeah, I think I felt like an itch to be funny before I felt the itch to be good at numbers. I think intuitively I liked when people appreciated my sense of humor more than my math skills.
I think with me, I think because I've never actually considered myself funny, but I was really good in accounting. It wasn't something that I chose, like it chose me just because I'm good at it. So I think officially the accounting came first.
All right, so we've got college out of the way. Assuming you need college to be an accountant.
Hmm.
A good one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question: does all of that inform your art as far as the comedy goes? Does it?
Um, I think for me it does
Yeah.
because when I first started doing stand up, I remember one of my classmates saying to me, "Don't get up there and start talking about taxes." And that's exactly what I did because that's what I know. So, yeah, I mean, I think most comedy you have to use your personal stuff, and accounting is my personal stuff. So I just find the humor in that, which there is a lot if you do it for a long enough time, you'll find it.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to. I mean, to use accounting because I would write jokes maybe not accounting related, and for some reason people really think it's funny to be an accountant. They just like the money. They just I don't know. There's like this image of the accountant, and it's very funny to people just being locked up in a cellar or a basement, and you're just at an adding machine just typing away.
I think people think it's funny that we actually like it. I think that's what because like I
Yeah.
love doing taxes. Like it's one of my most favorite things to do in life. But people think that part is funny, but I don't know. Like it's cool. I like it.
It's interesting. You just made me realize that my cousin, uh, a younger cousin, he's an accountant, a corporate accountant down there in Philadelphia, and he just started doing stand-up comedy, open mic.
Yeah.
I That's really interesting. I'll give him your card. Maybe he might come up here once we get back to some reality, or maybe if
Yeah.
maybe if what we talk about is some kind of virtual open mic, but I don't know how that any of that works. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so we finish college and we start open mics and so have you both of you have you all lived in this area for a long time or
I moved around after college. I lived in Pittsburgh and lived in North Carolina and stuff, and came back here. Each place I lived, though, an accounting job chewed me up and spit me out, pretty much.
wow.
So, you know,
So I should hire you.
well, you know what? I think I'm realizing now is just because just my heart wasn't in it. Like just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
So like it was my heart was the only thing my heart is in is doing taxes, but you can't do that all year round. So that's the issue. But everything else, like invoices and balance sheets and income statements, like I don't want to do that every day. Like who wants to look at that every day for no reason?
No, not me. I hand it off. Yeah, Aaron, did you grow up here?
Yeah, I lived in the Lehigh Valley since like middle school, seventh grade. So almost 20 years now, I think.
Oh,
I should do the math faster, but I'm gonna
okay.
say
All right.
20. 20 is a
All
good
right.
estimate.
So at what point? So how many years are? I'm trying to find the timeline. Like how long or where did you start? Where did you start? Was it open mic? When did you get into improv? A little bit of a timeline, each of you. Just how'd you get to where you are now?
Janeer,
You want me to take that one? All right, I'll take
bring up
that one.
bring up the spreadsheet. Let's dive into this timeline.
I,
You said timeline, and I saw a line on the bottom. We can do a vertical axis. We can put number of laughs. Over time. Hopefully the number goes up. I can't.
I just want to insert that as a graphic designer, part of my job was to take, when I worked in corporate communications, was to take the spreadsheets or the charts and actual Excel sheets and then make a pretty chart, make it look nice. So if you need somebody to do that. I'm totally selling myself here at this very moment because I need work too. So go ahead.
And that's totally cool because you can't make those pretty charts without the numbers, right, Aaron?
You can't.
You need the numbers for that.
I
Like
can't tell you if my charts are accurate, but they look good.
I could probably tell you if they were accurate.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't
Um,
want to interrupt.
oh, it's okay. I think, well, I started writing, like comedy writing in like 2011. I started a book that I've yet to finish. Um, and then I went through like writing a screenplay and then writing sketches. And stand up was the last thing that I did because that was the one that scared me the most of talking in front of people. So I started doing the stand up 2018. So, what about you, Aaron?
Thanks, Janear. So yeah, I did start scribbling these stupid ideas that I had when I was in middle school. Like, uh, what's the deal with picking your nose and you're watching TV? Like things like that. I think I would just be doing things when I was like 12, and I'd be like, "Is there a bit here?" um, yeah. So I was like scribbling these like odd ideas that I had for jokes and like maybe skits, sketches. Um, Never really amounting to anything more than just like a bunch of loose leaf paper in this folder I had. Um, and then I didn't do anything, no theater, no performing arts until like 5 years after I graduated college, and I started at Artsquest. I took like an intro to improv 101, at this arts organization we have here in Bethlehem, and that kind of at least got the wheels rolling. Like, okay, I have these ideas, I can maybe start making something of the ideas.
Gotcha. So did it work? Did you get to make something of those ideas?
Yeah. Surprisingly, you have an idea, and that's all you need in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really, really love about it. And the worse the idea, the funnier it is, I find.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
So
I
I could just
agree.
throw something horrible out there right now and you could just riff on it for a while.
Oh yeah,
All right.
let's try.
A horrible idea.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I set myself up for this.
You
Yeah,
kinda,
you did.
you really did. I'm gonna think about something horrible. How's that?
Okay.
I don't have it right now. I can't be. I'm just not good with that on the spot thing.
We
Just
know
not.
horrible can be. It doesn't have to be like grotesque.
No,
Horrible,
no, no. I just mean like dull.
dull. Yeah.
Just dull.
Oh, dull's good.
Oh,
Dull.
that's what
Dull.
we specialize in dull.
You
Oh yeah.
specialize in dull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
like the insulated all-purpose mug. That's dull.
I mean, for avid tea drinkers, that would be like the perfect stocking stuffer or birthday gift. Um, I don't I don't know about you, Aaron. I think you're a tea drinker too, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would embody that cup of just being insulated and metal and just
Just enjoy every bit of it. But the I don't know, how do you feel about disposable? Like I'm a disposable teacup type of person. Um,
Ooh, Junior, I'm gonna have to let's go on
please,
record. It's the first time I'm disagreeing with you.
really?
It's the first time disposable?
Yeah, like I get a new one. This is my only teacup that I use. I use this all the time when I'm at home. But as far as like taking the same cup to work and like using it every day, grosses me out, man.
Oh my
Grosses
god.
me.
Can't
Yeah,
believe I can't believe you're a disposable
yeah.
cup kind of person.
You know what it is though? I think for women, it's more like gross because like you see the people with like their lipstick stains, like
Oh
stuff
yeah.
on the like. I don't want to keep drinking that. Like that's gross.
That's a good point. I seldom put lipstick on, so um But I do like there's like a comfort. I have like a one mug that's like made out of clay. Like somebody made it. I bought it at like a Renaissance fair. I just love drinking tea out of it. It's like it's earthy. It has all the tea flavors that I've had for like 10 years.
And I think that's the issue. I use my really cool coffee mugs though. I use them to keep stuff in. So my Steelers mug, I use it to keep my change in it, you know.
Okay.
Because I got to keep the change. And then I just realized my Moravian College mug, where I got my expensive accounting degree, I don't even use anymore. I have my pesos in there from when I went to Mexico. And I just looked at them today. I was like, dude, I have 40 pesos. Like, I should go back to Mexico and spend them at least, you know?
That is a good point. When you like mugs, I have too many mugs because like every chance you get, you're like, oh, another mug. I can drink coffee out of this one or tea, you know.
Yeah. Oh, but you know the cool thing about mugs though? Like easily the best re-giftable item. Like you can re-gift the mug like over and over again.
Just run it through the dishwasher. It's brand new.
You don't use it for.
Oh, okay. You're right. No, I would never do that. You're right. That's a good point.
No, you don't use it first. You just, if someone gives it to you in a gift bag, you just, rip your name off the gift bag. Hopefully, I don't know why people still write names on gift bags. Because I'm giving this to someone else.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
You know what we're doing with this bag. We're going to fold it up nicely, and it's going to be stowed away until next year.
Yeah, and then I'm going to keep that coffee mug and just give it to somebody else. So, I mean, what's also cool is I like to give those gifts like coworkers. I'm sure none of my coworkers are watching, but whatever. I re-gift gifts that coworkers give me at the holidays, and I just hand them to like random people in parking lots and stuff, and it makes them happy.
Oh.
Did they ever come back to you? Like you get that gift again?
No.
Oh, it's happened to me.
Oh, really?
Oh, went full circle.
Didn't we on Christmas? Didn't we give this to her last 2 years ago? Yeah, we did. Oh, okay.
Wow.
It can happen.
That's bold.
Yeah, but you just gotta like take it. You know, like thank you so much. I'll be giving this to someone in another family now.
Yeah, gifts are all about just it's a politeness thing, right? As long as you're just polite giving, polite receiving, you did the gift. Check. Gift done.
Yeah.
You did gifting.
You did your gifting. Oh my goodness. Oh.
There is this cold like surgery of accounting, in terms of like numbers. I'm just realizing, but you know what I mean. Like we're so precise. I think that might add to our comedy because we can be just so blunt and precise. And hey, this is what this is. There's no sugarcoating. A big loss.
There's no sugarcoating. It is, and that's it.
It's in the details, and that's what we specialize in is details.
So if I was to go out tomorrow and get arrested and find myself in jail and I had a whole lot of money, like, could you help me with my finances while I'm in jail?
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll take care of everything for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the last thing you want is your money to not work for you. You gotta put it into something.
No matter where, right?
Yeah.
It would probably be paid for bail, but so that brings me to this show that you have, Financial Advice for Criminals. What in the heck are we talking about?
Well, Dina, we should probably when we created the title, we didn't realize. We should have been more careful with how we name things. I think we should say financial advice for the ethically impaired. I think that's just to make sure we're being careful.
Yeah.
We don't want to accuse anyone of being criminal.
Criminals carries too many. What's the word that they have to say before our show went on? Disclaimers.
Disclaimers?
Yeah, we have to do too many disclaimers with criminals.
None of these people have been actually arrested and sent to jail.
Well, yeah, like the whole premise was, and this is really what you study in accounting, is you study like the bad things people do in accounting. Because like the people that have a nefarious kind of idea, they're the ones that are like, you know what, I can really do something with accountants. I could really use them. Versus like ordinary people is just, it's like another thing they dread. They're like, I gotta get a filling, I gotta get a birthday present from my nephew, and I gotta get my taxes done. But criminals or ethically impaired people, they really like accountants actually.
Do they? How
Yeah.
so?
Well, I mean, the top thing that an ethically impaired person wants to do is make money and keep their money. And who's better to guide you in keeping illegal money, especially, is an accountant. So the accountant can do things for you so that you won't get caught doing bad stuff. That's pretty much how it works.
I get it.
So, one of the first things I learned in comedy, actually, which applies to accounting, is you have to learn the rules before you can break them. So, same with accounting. So, accountants, we know all the rules, and then we show you not how to break them, but how to work around them.
So who's ethically impaired?
Hey, we're not doing anything. We're just. Oh, you made money. I think you collected a donation.
It's all about the column. Which
That's right.
column should this be in? I
Yep.
understand. So what was this? What was the show? Is the show still ongoing, or no
Um,
more?
well, it was in November,
Oh,
2019.
uh-huh.
Um, and it was a combination of stand up and sketch and improv. And it was all about, how ethically impaired people can use accounting services.
I get it. Maybe you'll have a redo of this because a lot of people are going to have money. They're not going to know where it came from, or is this unemployment? No, is this a gift? No, is this a grant? I don't know what I'm supposed. How do I have to claim this? People sent me money over Venmo. What do I do with that? Uh,
Those,
yeah. Oh, I got a million questions right now.
yeah, those are all valid
Right?
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, like
All
somebody's,
valid.
for example, right now I'm going to say, if anyone is appreciating what we're doing here, tips are graciously accepted, and 10% of those tips are being donated to Turning Point of Lehigh Valley.
Oh, that's awesome.
And my link for that is paypal.me/Dina Hall 2020. I will repeat it again later. That's also in the little banner that we're showing right here. So anyway, I am making sure that that's happening because I've set up a monthly donation to Turning Point of Lehigh Valley. So people send me tips. Is that going on my taxes under tips? Or
Um,
I don't know. Is it my friends sending me money because I need money?
Oh no, are we actually going to talk about
No, no, no.
taxes?
I'm just.
oh, we're not.
Oh, I
I
don't
was,
care what you. What
I was
I mean,
ready.
go
Junior,
ahead. No,
call me later,
seriously.
Junior, and we'll go over the new regulations.
Yeah, 'cause
I
some
will
stuff has
accept any
changed.
answer that you have right now, be
Well,
it
it
truth
depends.
or not.
Well, that's like a whole different thing.
No.
I mean, well, actually, if you're providing a service, then if people give you money, it counts as income, so you technically would have to report it.
Yeah.
But if you're not charging, then it is donations to you, but you're giving the donations to someone else. So it would count on your Schedule A if you itemize, you
Yep.
know.
Yep. Excellent.
Anytime I hear the word schedule and then a letter afterwards, I'm just like, I get like reminded of tax season.
I have a few schedules every year. Several schedules.
And I don't think Aaron likes tax. You don't like taxes, right?
Yeah, I was very much on the other side of the accounting world, away from taxes, but you can't like avoid it because that's just you can't avoid it. I tried.
No. They
You.
they made actual laws about it, like the RICO law. Like it's all about taxes.
It's all about taxes. So why do they have an accounting firm verify the winners of the Grammy Awards?
Yeah, that's right. They use
Deloitte and Touche, or
yeah.
whoever they are.
Hmm. Yeah, those are auditors, which
Ah,
I used to be an auditor for not one of those firms, uh, but yeah, those firms, they're very good at
Counting.
accounting
counting.
and then also verifying. Um,
Counting. That means counting twice.
Yes.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, they have like
Ah,
auditors for yeah Grammys and Emmys, like,
I'm
and
sure.
I love that they always like present the accountant. He doesn't say a word or her, but they just come up on stage and they like hand an envelope, and it's like that's all we can trust the accountant to do.
That's it.
Don't open your mouth.
Verified. Do not speak. Yeah, that's it. Well, I've often wondered about that, and there's my answer.
Mhm.
I kind of figured that myself. So, here we are. We are like, there's no open mic happening, no real open mic happening anywhere. Are you? From my own perspective, as a musician, I have two guitars sitting behind me. I don't touch them. I'm afraid. I don't have it in me. I have nothing. I have nothing. No music to put forth to you. Do you feel like you're losing your mojo in any way? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I text Aaron like once a week and say, "Oh my God, I'm losing my stand-up skills." At least once a
Yeah.
week, I say that. Yeah.
I tell her, listen, it's not you. It's trust me, it's me. I'm not funny anymore. I
No.
never was. Yeah, it's super. Yeah, it's like a muscle, right? Like I'm sure, like playing guitar and singing. You know, it's like you kind of have to work that muscle.
You do. You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard this from quite a few people. Feeling the same thing during this time period. So you have each other at least to, you talk. Are you funny?
We think we are.
And that's all
To
that
each
counts.
other. Yes,
That's all that
that's all.
counts.
That's all that counts. That's all that matters at all. Yeah. So, What have you been able to do? You've been able to do anything over live stream over the past 6 months?
I host a game show, friend, family, follower. And my first show was like live, was supposed to be on March 27th, but it got canceled. Um, so I had done like test runs before that on stage. But the first show was supposed to be March 27th. It got canceled. So in May, that was the first month where I adapted it to do it virtually. So I think I've been doing that once a month. I've been running the friend, family, follower game show online.
Friend,
Family, follower.
family. Wait, I'm gonna put it up here. Is there
Okay.
commas in there?
No commas.
And so I just want people to see this and say they're gonna, look for it. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so folks that are listening, because some people will be watching this like tomorrow, day after. Where can they find that? Anywhere
I've
with a good search?
Yep. A search, you can find it. The Facebook page. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And I've been doing it through the Artsquest at Home program. So it's um
Oh,
it's on there.
okay. Okay. Um, you have a number of different handles. I
I
can.
do.
I have a hard time. Like, who is this now? Oh, it's the same person.
Yeah, because I have like my one private page that the
Yeah,
first one I started, like people I grew up with and went to high school with and stuff. And then I have my open public one for like, everything else.
agreed. Yes,
Yeah,
it's and Instagram too. I saw this one came up today. It was like Dr. J. I thought, who's Dr. J?
that's
I
me.
just got used to Seventh and Northampton. I don't know.
Yeah, that's me. That's Dr. Me.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. So, uh, all right, Aaron. What else we got going on live stream? Anything?
Yeah, I stayed in contact. I have in improv. You work with like a troupe,
Hmm.
like so I've been working with and improvising with this troupe called Staycation. Just as like it's spelled, staycation. Just as the real thing, and we kind of stayed in contact, and same with Janear. We had some like shows scheduled, and then all of a sudden everything shut down, and we're like, well, we should still do things. So we actually started um, a virtual show, kind of piggybacking off of SNL Weekend Update. It's so we kind of extend that for an hour versus like a 10-minute SNL piece. So we do that. We did that once, and we're going to do that again. That's going to be in October. But yeah, that kind of helps you stay kind of busy, and you're writing, and you're like pitching ideas for characters, and it helps so the brain doesn't get as mushy. The comedy brain, it gets a little firmed up when you're kind of just coming up with ideas.
So I want to ask a question as an absolute. I don't even want to say layperson, but I know nothing about comedy writing, and then delivery. So you write it, and then do you memorize completely, or do you memorize the, sort of like a what's the word that we use? Marking. You mark it. You just. How's that work?
I think we do it a little differently. Like, I know when Janear and I were working on our show, I was writing probably until hours before we went on, and probably starting like 6 months back, or maybe even like 9 months back, right? We started writing for a while.
Yeah.
For our show, for the Financial Advice for Criminals show. And, I just can't stop writing, and I'm always tweaking, because every time I say it, it comes out a little differently. That's just my style. It's, I'm a little bit more like comfortable with like it being a little loosey, which is, I know Janear.
I write everything down. That's just because the way that's the way my brain functions. Improv scares me more than anything else in the comedy genre. To get on stage and have no idea what I'm supposed to talk about or do is like, it like freaks me out. So I write everything down. But since we've been in the quarantine, we didn't talk about the team quarantine, or the improv team that
Oh.
that we do online. So that's really been helping me to like work on my improv skills and like my just like responses and stuff.
So did you just say team quarantine? Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
The
yeah,
quorum team, quarantine. Yeah.
Quarantine.
yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Well, a couple friends, like just early on, we wanted to kind of stay connected and do improv, which is very difficult. Just in general to kind of do improv, it takes some effort. It shouldn't, but anyway. But so we decided just to kind of do it virtually on Teams, or on Zoom. So it's just kind of like improv. We're really just like very loose. Have an idea, and we're just bouncing off each other, being funny characters, or trying to poke fun at each other. Trying to, so it's it wasn't really something with a crowd, but we kind of just did it for ourselves. I kind of ended up, truthfully, I'll be truthful, I got a little burnt out from doing it, because it was I don't know, it was very there was something that I missed about it, which I loved about improv. In general, improv, you kind of feel the audience.
Yeah.
You're interacting with the other players that you have on stage. There was just too many like things for me that were like blocked off. Like, I couldn't necessarily feel the other players, and there was no real audience. So I tried to keep it going as much as I could, but I know I kind of ended up falling off that a little bit.
That's an ongoing problem, right?
I think it happens though, especially now. I know when the whole quarantine first started, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do this project. I'm going to do this project," and like I took a whole bunch of writing classes online with a bunch of different comedy theaters and everything. It's like every week I was doing something new, and then I kind of just hit the point where like, all right, like I got to calm down now. Like
Uh,
it's getting too much.
Absolutely, you settle into something. This is daunting, once a week because when I started it, it was like, okay, I just want a place where I can, and I've said this a million times, but I just need a place where I can go and complain. And then, and I had a hard time finding people who wanted to complain with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't want
Oh,
to. They didn't want to do it publicly. I'm one of those. I don't care. I don't mind. I don't mind talking real. But so then I shifted it a little bit, and now it's become this living thing. So and I do hope to at some point, maybe when more grant money becomes available, pay myself for the last 4 months of this. And by the way, someday you can tell me how that I can fix that on my taxes. But if I do get the a grant from like if I Arts Council or something, that would be wonderful. But I have to maintain it and keep on going. So every week I'm like reaching out to people trying to find good combinations of who like the two of you together. It's a great conversation, and it's not as easy as one might think because now it's a job, a thankless, unpaid, uh, gratuitous. Just keep on talking, Dina. Um,
well, we like to set the bar pretty high.
yeah,
So I just challenge everyone to just top our conversation
I do
going
too.
forward.
I do too. It's fabulous.
Yeah,
And so
pretty much.
I have a couple of weeks now where I don't have anybody scheduled. They're like, I'm waiting on dates to fill in. But I want to say, and I can say this to you folks as well, both of you, if there's anyone you think would be good to contribute, I'd have some good stuff to contribute. They don't have to be accountants and they don't have to be comics. They could be lawyers and, lawyers by day, dancers by night. That's fine by me. I'd love to,
Oh yeah.
talk to people I'd love to get talk to people who are in dance right now because that again is something that live stream that's just unless you can get on a stage with
Hmm.
appropriate sound and distance.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll take ideas. I'll take suggestions, and we'll see where we can go with that.
I might have a name or two for you.
Okay, you
I
send them
actually
to
know a
me.
dancer. Yeah, I might know
Yeah, send them
somebody.
to me later. We're
Okay.
working on that. Yeah. All right. So going forward, do we have things lined up online that we can look for?
I am guest hosting a 90s hip hop trivia show. Um, on
That's the coolest thing that anyone could ever say for me. I'm hosting trivia, 90s hip hop. Wow.
Yes, yeah, and I've been doing so much research on this. Like I've been watching so many documentaries, and like I'm definitely taking like the research approach to everything. So I made my
Yeah.
spreadsheet yesterday so that I can keep track of because there's five elements in hip hop, and like there's different types of hip hop and the music.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I made a spreadsheet so I could keep track, so I can make sure I hit points of all of them and stuff.
All right. So
Um,
when is that? When is that happening?
that is September 29th um, through the Artsquest at Home program, and I believe it's 8 o'clock.
Oh, I'm trying to type as I'm offset from the keyboard. It's not so easy. And so capital letters are coming up when they're not supposed to. All right, that sounds really intriguing to me. And I'll tell you why. Hip hop is just a style of music. It's a genre that I know nothing about. And when you talk about breaking it down and really explaining, I'm very much intrigued by that. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm looking forward to it. So I'm not doing friend, family, follower this month, but I'm doing the trivia.
Friend, family, follower. There's too many F's in
It was designed that way.
Yeah, I bet it was. Oh man. Okay. I'm going to find a way to keep some of these in the comments. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put that in the comments for everybody to see that upcoming. Aaron, is there anything else that you've got coming
Yeah,
up?
my troupe Staycation. We're doing another installment of the nightly news at 8:05 this time. Um, so that's October 10th. I'm sorry, October 2nd at 8:05, and it's another Artsquest at Home program.
Artsquest at home. I like that. Yeah. They've been Artsquest really jumped on this whole live stream thing from the very beginning. What was the date on that again?
October 2nd.
Okay, they really jumped on that immediately. There we go. I got that in the notes in the comments section. When I believe it was early March, because I do remember getting a call to play like lunch. It was a lunch break, the lunch break series. Yeah, and that was my first experience with this whole playing to the little dot live, for I think it was 20 minutes, and I was so glad it was only 20 minutes, because when it was over, I like, did anybody watch? Did anybody care? And they did. I had friends who were like, who were sitting at home, and if it was the first two weeks, and they're like, they had nothing, they didn't know what to do. They're like, oh, lunchtime. Oh, okay, let's just watch some music. It's not the same now. Now there's just so much happening. So it's just like trying to get people to come out to a gig, and you got to do a lot of work to get them just to watch you on the tube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're always competing with, I feel like, just so we can complain a little bit. You mentioned complaining.
Yeah,
I'm
complain.
very
It's fun.
prone to complaining. Um,
Yeah.
I think, coming from a business school, right? We understand you're only as good as your competitor, right? Which,
Yeah.
in this day and age, we're competing with like Netflix and Hulu and HBO, Disney, whatever channel. Just add plus, and they have their own streaming service. It's really hard to kind of break through that. I mean, when it was live, I think when we had our live programming and live gigs, we had to compete with people like getting dressed and driving. That was like
Yes.
a big thing. But now it's like people are home, but there's so much content. It's I don't know. It's but I like that we I'm always happy when I see people out. Especially at comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Getting them out.
I think it was. I've noticed I have a different audience from doing the live shows to doing the online shows, because there are people who come to every single one of my online shows that I've done, but the live shows, it's like, go outside, like they don't,
Yeah.
like they don't want to do that. And then I have the opposite. I have people who go to all my live shows, but then they're like, I don't do Zoom. So it's like,
Right.
oh, okay. So, like that's it.
It's completely different. Yeah, I saw that in starting this back in March. There were people that were just sitting at home because they were doing what they were supposed to do. They were in the quarantine, and they would comment, and they were so happy, and they loved everything, but they would never come out to a show, let
Yeah.
alone pay a ticket. It's free? All right, maybe we'll go.
Yes.
There's alcohol? Okay. But a ticket? Mm-mm-mm. So now we're bringing it to them, and we'll see what happens on the other side, if they come out and if they'll be interested in buying a ticket to anything ever again.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful because we've all kind of realized, just the importance of just seeing people. It's
Yeah.
Thankfully now the numbers. I mean, I don't want to persuade anyone to do anything, but it's a little stable now. We can kind of be outside at least. But
Yeah.
for a while there in the spring, it was like I'm hopeful that people realize what a treat it is to go to a comedy, to support your improv friends and stand-ups.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's at 11 o'clock? Come on, just stay up.
I
We're all
know.
staying up. We're all drinking
Like,
coffee in the morning.
Ah, just
yeah, like
11
just
o'clock.
yeah, just do it. Like this is what we like this like I don't this is what a lot of us look forward to every day while we're
Yeah.
staring at spreadsheets like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to open mic tonight. Like
Are they
that's
all
what
that late? Is it always that late?
a lot of
That
them,
late at
yeah.
night?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I think most of them start at 9. There's some that start at 8.
Why do you think that is so late? Because I know, I
Um,
mean, music as a musician, the gone are the days I would play from 10 to 2, 10 to 2, 10 to 4 hours, start at 10 o'clock at night. There's nothing you can do the next day, especially if you have a family. That's just terrible. But we don't do that anymore. Most places you can be done by 11 o'clock midnight. But for comedy, it seems like it's even later. I wonder
it's
why.
it's like
People
people aren't allowed to laugh during the
I was
day
going to
for some
ask you if you get
reason.
funnier after 10.
I
You know,
don't.
by that time people have had a couple of drinks. They've filled their
Absolutely.
bellies. They're a little more,
Absolutely. Yep.
you know.
Yeah. I know. There's all those little things that go along with it. It's
Mhm.
it's not it's not just comedy. It's comedy and a dinner and a comedy.
Yeah,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
it probably should be during dinner time because you have like a captive audience. Like
Yes, you
like they're
do.
not gonna leave. They're eating.
No, they're
So
not. But should they be laughing while there's food in their mouth?
that's up to that person at that table.
What if you're really funny?
I
You
guess
just take a drink,
Mhm.
and that's
as
the funniest joke of the night.
as long as it's like doesn't like
That's
splash
what
on me, like
I.
I'm okay.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm sure
Sweet.
in a couple months we'll be living in plexiglass boxes. That'll be the
Yeah.
next stage. So yeah, I'm fine with spitting. I'm fine. As long as there's a plexiglass box that I can live
I'm
in.
I'm going to show my age, and you neither. Well, you might being comics. You might know this. Either of you familiar with Gallagher from the
Mhm.
'90s? Okay,
Yeah.
so the Sledge-O-Matic, when he would whack into that watermelon, everyone knew they had to pull the plastic up over themselves. So we'll just create the plastic environment, and they don't have to bring their own. And Gallagher can make a comeback.
Yeah, the
True.
splash zone.
Yeah, front row. Sticky. The sticky row. Oh, yes. We haven't complained nearly enough.
Oh,
No.
I got a list here. I got a list we can get into. I'm of the age. I'm
Do
like,
you?
I know it's what.
Do
Oh, a
you?
list of complaining.
Do you have a
Sure,
list?
sure. My journal, my
He
diary.
does. He
Oh, good.
does.
But I think I feel like I've matured where I know my tendency is to complain,
Yep.
and I know it's unpleasant for people. So I have a therapist. So that's
Oh, it's good. I didn't have a therapist. I started a parody Twitter account about a year ago called Muffin Top.
Mhm.
And basically the grumblings of a postmenopausal, um, what the heck was it? Postmenopausal, I forget what I was called. But anyway, it was a place where, as a over 50 woman just observing nonsense, I could just have a voice where I could just complain all the time. So it's still there. I, unfortunately, the things I want to complain about, I really have a hard time keeping people anonymous. So I don't do it as often as I was.
Muffin top. It wasn't recipes. You weren't
No,
sharing.
no, no, muffin top. It was all about the muffin top that happens when when you reach a certain age, your body changes and you get that little muffin top. And everyone of a certain age, every woman of a certain age knows what I'm referring to. And so,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we get that crankiness, like get off my lawn and, you know, turn that music down. And
So,
yeah,
so
Yeah,
Aaron, so you go to your therapist so that you don't complain in your comedy, right?
yeah, yeah. It's weird. I can't do the comedy voice I have and complain because then it just comes off as bratty. I don't know.
you have a comedy
But
voice.
but then don't you want to complain about your therapist and your stand-up? 'Cause I do. Isn't that what you want to do? Like,
That's what you're
you
supposed to.
believe what this chick said to me?
That's
Like,
what
come
you're
on.
supposed to do.
Well, I just think, yeah, anyone trying to give you advice is kind of is susceptible to some complaining. Come on,
Yeah.
no one knows what we're doing. We're just complaining. Thank you for listening to my complaining. I'll go about my day a little less
Yeah,
annoyed.
yeah.
Here's your $65. Like,
Is that union wage?
man, it's just like it's like open mics are so much cheaper. Like you if you
Oh
go
yeah.
like between happy hour, you get half price chicken fingers, and you get to complain for 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, I feel better now. I'm gonna
That's
go
right.
home. Like
Yes.
$65 for a
Yeah,
therapist.
copay or 2 drink minimum. The one kind of solves the problem too.
It does. Take the 2 drink minimum.
It
Unless
does.
you don't. Yeah. Yes.
Or unless you don't drink, and it's two chicken
Oh, then
finger
it's
minimum.
Yeah, it's two item,
I
two item. We should say 2 item.
Yeah.
2 item.
I stopped drinking once I started doing stand up. Like I don't really drink anymore. But you know, whatever.
You don't have
When
to,
I'm
or you can if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I
Totally down.
feel like doing the stand up is like kind of being high on life for me. So I feel like
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
do anything else. But which was another reason why doing the online stuff has definitely been helping. I did some open mics, like I like doing the improv online stuff like that because it helps me to get that stuff out.
Yes. Aaron, do you have a observation on any of that?
Yeah, it's weird when especially in improv, I find, improv, you're kind of embodying characters and these thoughts that are kind of coming up serendipitously, in the moment. But then you're like, oh, you know what? I was thinking a lot about cheesecake. That's why I was a cheesecake baker in that scene. It's weird because it all comes from somewhere, like thanks to Freud, we all have like this weird
Yeah.
idea now in our head, but um, it's amazing when it kind of bubbles up. It is kind of cathartic sometimes, just to you can embody emotions very well, and improv emotions help. So I think it's actually very healthy. As long as you trust the person you're doing it with, you can really express your emotions and yell, and stomp and anything you want. I would recommend it.
You're talking about trust right now, because that's a great topic. I think you just touched on
Yep.
trust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with improv, it's a very, it's like, um, I don't know, it could all float away very
Yeah.
easily. It's very delicate. Like, and if you don't have the trust, you're not as open. Um, you're not as willing to like take chances either.
Yeah.
Which you know you, you want to kind of push the limits a little bit of yourself and your ideas. So yeah, yeah, trust. You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely. Don't you think that's cool that like an improv team is really good like with trusting. Like when I first saw Staycation is my favorite improv team to watch because you can tell you guys are
Oh
like
my God,
really
really? Yeah,
friends. Yeah, really.
really?
and I don't yeah, like yeah. But you can tell you guys are like really actually good friends and stuff. So I think that is what plays off on stage. But don't you think it's cool that like companies and corporations use improv as team building activities? But in order to do improv, like you have to be the team.
Yeah, yeah. But there's a whole industry now, I think, of like, of improv teachers and improv experts who are like leading with workshops in corporate America. Just to kind of give everyone a little bit of, it's those soft skills, but I think we end up using those soft skills more than like the technical uh, know-how. When you're working with, especially when you're working with people, you got to be able to see the other person, listen, respond, all that stuff that we learn in improv. Yeah. Um, I don't know if it's helped my corporate career because I'm kind of in a plateau, but you know, someone of a greater mindset might use improv and get somewhere in their career.
That gives me an idea. My board retreats for Godfrey Daniels. I always want to open up with some kind of icebreaker, team building, and
Oh yeah.
that's not the group you want to be doing improv with. So,
That's
Yeah,
like
so we'll work on that.
there's things small things you can do that really help.
Yeah.
Um, like some of
um
it is just making a choice, making a simple choice, stuff that you can, just little things that you can kind of work
Okay.
on.
Yeah, I will accept suggestions from either or both of you on that if you're up for a little bit of a challenge to help me, because I would love to find a way to get that group into a I think I just got a mosquito on my cheek. I just nonchalantly just and there it is on my hand. Uh this is
I
live stream.
If there's any
live.
question, if this was pre-recorded, it's not.
No.
Um, I like to start with the name game when I have to do like when I'm
Yeah.
leading orientation or something at work. I start with the name game. It's easy.
Yeah.
So that's the one where you just get everyone in a circle and you pick an adjective that starts with the same first letter of your name.
Did you I'm
So and
sorry.
then you
Did you say an adjective?
yes
Okay. The sound got warbly. Just is the most important word.
yes. So
Okay.
you pick an adjective. So you would pick an adjective that starts with the letter D, and then you would say like that's the part
Dina.
where you
I would say
like
dynamic. Oh, how did
dynamic
that just
Dina.
came to my mind?
See, it's all there. You just gotta pull it out,
Yeah.
and then you would just do like a motion with it. So like dynamic Dina. So then everyone goes around and does
Oh,
it,
cool.
and, and then after everyone goes once, then you go around a circle and you pick someone else. So then I would pick you, and I'd say like dynamic Dina, and then you would pick someone else. So then
And they
you
have
learn
to
everyone's name.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Cool.
yeah,
I like that. Well,
it's cool.
all right. I want to recap a few things uh, coming up. We've got the Artsquest at Home 90s Hip Hop Trivia, September 29th, and it is hosted by Janear Hankerson, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. And Staycation Improv Troupe. Wait, where did that thing go that I had? Oh, those are in the comments down below in the comments. That is the nightly news, also part of the Artsquest at Home, and that's October 2nd. Aaron, so that's the troupe. That's the improv troupe.
Yeah, that's like the players that put
Yes,
on that show. Yeah.
got it. All right, so those are things we can look forward to with both of you. Anything we've not hit tonight? Do we need to mention anything else of importance before we? The clock is clicking down to 1 hour, and we'll try to end it with that. What you got?
Remember to register to vote.
I'm glad you remembered because I was going to say that and I forgot. Everyone,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's great.
that's very important right now. Um, all right, I appreciate both of you being here with us tonight, and we will embed this. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be embedded on my website. I've got a few people coming up in the works in the next few weeks. I'll tell you all about it. So my applause to both of you. The thing we like to do when we end this is try to give a high five.
Oh, awesome.
So give each other
Who am I
Give
going
each
to?
other a high five. Come on. And then
Wait,
I'll
here.
try to get you from up
Oh,
here.
there's one.
I
Okay.
can't like bend my hand the right way. It's really hard.
All right, Dina, here. I'm coming for you.
Oh, wrong hand.
Can I
Right?
just
See,
do
this
spirit?
is
Can I do
it's
spirit
just a
fingers?
I love it. All right. I appreciate it, both of you.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much for having us.
Thanks, Dina.
I hope to see you again soon. Okay. Bye.
Take care.
That was fun. Coming up in the next few weeks, I got some empty dates. Again, as I mentioned, trying to get some people locked into dates. I had some conversations who might be coming in. Mark Fitzgerald Wilson is the new director at, I believe, executive director at Zollner Arts Center at Lehigh University. And so we're working on bringing him in the next month or so, probably October. Also, Jamie Anderson is a folk singer originally from North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, living in Ottawa, Canada right now. And we're going to talk about moving from music performance to actually teaching and lessons and taking things over to a very successful YouTube channel and giving lessons in a way to adapt at this point in time very, very successfully. And maybe at some point we'll have some other friends from the area. I'll let you all know what's coming up. That'll be follow the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all Dina Hall. And as I mentioned, 10% of any tips donated to this program are going to Turning Point of the Lehigh Valley. And the place to donate to, the URL is paypal.me/Dina Hall 2020. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I'll be back with you in a few weeks, couple weeks. We'll try to make it real soon. All right. Thanks so much. Good night, all.